It's really cool to see religious groups here in Regina helping out their youth like that. In fact, people of the Plain Street Ministry created a support center that helps all types of disadvantaged people. But because of recent vandalism, it's the center that needs the help. So Megan Pletz decided to stop by.
One short month ago, the people of the Plains Ministry were celebrating their grand opening of their new community center in north central Regina. Now their celebrations have been grounded to a halt. Early Saturday morning, vandals broke in, splashing paint everywhere and breaking windows. Rosalind Caldwell, the executive director for the Christian ministry, says she's devastated by the vandalism.
And it was very frustrating.
People of the Plains Ministry set up the center for the homeless and young people in need. Ironically, it was teenagers who vandalized the center. Caldwell says she caught them in the act.
They're passed out. They're passed out on the floor, like literally gone. Paint all over their face, their hands. There's the culprits. They're right there.
The city has donated glass for the front door, but the ministry has no idea where they will get the money for the other repairs. Even though she is frustrated, Caldwell says the vandals are a product of their environment.
You can't blame them. I don't blame them, okay? I don't. I don't like what they did, but you can't blame them because they've got nothing else to do. There's nothing in this community for these kids to do.
For now, the homeless shelter is closed and programs have been stopped. And people of the Plains Ministry say they don't know when or if they'll be able to get things up and running again. But in the meantime, they are accepting donations and trying to plot out their next move. With my eyes on the street, I'm Megan Pletz.
Next up, we have a story about foreign students. Many of us know what it's like to be the new kid in school, or to move to a new city. But for foreign students, it's a whole different playground in a whole different country. Barry Lau and Newman Wu give you the eyes to this story.
Hello, Barry. Where are you from?
I'm from Hong Kong. What about you, Newman?
I'm from Taiwan.
So what do you think about the food in Canada? Do you like the chicken ball here?
Chicken ball? That is not the Chinese food. That is Canadian Chinese food. Why they call it chicken ball?
I don't know, because chicken don't have balls. But anyway, I don't really like the Canadian food here. I like the steak and McDonald's.
How you feel about Regina?
When I first time come here, I felt I'm lost and very difficult to communicating. One of my experience is when I first time come to school, it have the Canadian girl taught me English. And 2 weeks later, she asked me, do you want to go out with me? But at that time, my English are very poor. I only understand out and me. I thought she meant, do you want her to get out? But I told her no. But now I know what she meant. I felt I'm very stupid.
When I come to Regina, it's hard to communicate with them because we speak the different language and we have a different culture. And I always ask the Canadian girls, will you want to have a coffee with me? And they won't understand.
Yeah, when I first time come here, the people always make fun of me because they know my pronunciation is not good. And they always make me to say peanut and peanuts. So I don't really like the Canadian people at first, but I like the Canadian girl. Now I got a Canadian girlfriend. So what do you think about the weather here?
Very cold. In Taiwan, we don't have a snow.
Yeah, in Hong Kong we don't have snow too. I remember when I first time driving in here, I crashed my car. I hate snow, but I like to ski.
That's awesome!
So what do you think about the people who jaywalk here?
They're crazy! I saw the people jaywalk in the street and the car will stop for them. If you do this, you will die in Taiwan because street is so busy.
Yeah, when I first time drive here, and then the jaywalk person walked in front of me, I didn't stop, and they gave me the finger. But overall, I really like my experience that I got. I almost done my degree and I want to stay in Regina. And I found a job here.
I really enjoy the life here. I'm the first year in the university. I hope I can get more good experience in the next 3 years. And I hope I can get, after I done my degree, I can find a job here.
That's it for us today. Thank you for listening. So Newman, what do you really think about Regina?
Regina 冇靚女，
係啦，啲女又唔大波又冇咯，
上去叫街街又吵又
咪
貴，
咯，呢度105蚊得半粒鐘。
係啊，又唔係全套乜
香
柒都
港啲雞
冇，
幾靚啊，係咪？
係又正又平。
所有中
Speaking of cash, summer's here and it's time to start shelling out for that new summer wardrobe. Dean Renwick is the man to talk to, and his taste for style is something you don't want to miss. Sabah Halmariam and Delaney Windigo stop by to get some fashion tips.
Dean Renwick is a fashion designer located right here in Regina.
He's been in the industry for over 20 years. He spent most of that time working in LA.
Dean has designed clothing for some of Hollywood's hottest celebrities.
Dean Renwick is carving out a niche as one of a handful of Saskatchewan designers.
It's a long way from his days as a designer to the stars.
I actually done work with Kiefer Sutherland back in the 80s, Bette Midler, Sally Kellerman. I did a wedding gown for one of the band members from Guns N' Roses. I worked on the Eurythmics tour in 1986.
Dean grew up in Regina but left for LA in the late 1980s.
Dean's a versatile designer.
He's done everything from bathing suits to couture gowns and tuxedos, but his main focus is making wedding and grad gowns.
He also builds women's wardrobes, one piece at a time, and he has advice for putting it all together.
If you find something that fits really well and looks great, like a shirt, buy it in several different colors. If you find a pair of jeans that a good company makes for you, buy several pair. Different lengths, different washes. Make sure that whatever you get fits really well, and if it doesn't, see a tailor.
Whether it's your wedding day
Or your graduation.
or just casual wear,
Dean Renwick's got it.
and if he doesn't have it, he'll make it.
I'm Delaney Windigo.
And I'm Sabah Halmariam, and we've got our eyes on fashion.
Thanks, Sab and Delaney. Now, is there a need for speed? Definitely not in the school zones. Janelle Mendez explains why the cost of a ticket really isn't worth it.
Every day, thousands of cars pass through school zones, but not everyone obeys the speed limit, and that can have devastating consequences.
I can remember screaming no and hitting the horn because I was sitting in my car.
Last year, Dion Favel saw his 9-year-old daughter Dana get hit by a truck at this very spot. She suffered a cracked pelvis and fractures to the head. For 3 days, she was in a coma.
Went to the hospital. They said she has to have an operation on her brain to relieve the pressure that was formed on her brain. 2 hours later, she was up in ICU. And then onto that, it was a long recovery since then.
It's accidents like Favel's that have the Regina Police Service taking action. This month, they're ticketing drivers and spreading awareness that speeding in a school zone is dangerous.
Well, we do enforcement in the school zones all year, weekly, but it's just we choose it as a focus of the month and try to make people more aware of it twice a year. But it is enforced all year round.
That's good news for Laura Hayter, who walks her son to make sure he's safe. But she wants the city to do more.
It angers me personally that the city is not willing to put flashing lights up there to save a child's life.
In the meantime, Dion Favel hopes people slow down.
It's my child this time, it could be yours next.
So far, Regina police have ticketed dozens of drivers. That means a $200 fine or worse. But that's nothing compared to the cost of a child's life. I'm Janelle Mandis with my eye on the street.